However, if you arrive in a world that's neither of light nor darkness, but somewhere on the other side, your task will be far from easy. If that happens, you must abandon your search. We have failed.
Interesting comment. Ayo!
Black Sunday here.
Here I am once more with a video on Kingdom Hearts. During Melody of Memory, we see Xehanort making comments about the other side of reality, for which Ansem the Wise deduced as unreality, or fiction, to Kairi and Riku. With this knowledge, Riku's dreams, and with the help from the fairy godmother, the Nameless Star, Riku has all the pieces he needs to rescue Sora, when the Nameless Star names a city she knows that could be a part of this unreality. That city being Quadratum. When Master Yen Sid learns of these comments, he makes assumptions that Xehanort knew about this realm for a long time. The question is, how? And I think I know how. It requires a lot of explaining, but I think I know how. It's time for...
Kingdom Hearts theory. How does Xehanort know about Quadratum?
Please remember, as with all my theories, that's all they are. Just theories. This may or may not be exactly how it will play out, but it's an accurate way of telling you how Xehanort knows about Quadratum. I will give you a straight answer shortly, so before we begin, be sure to subscribe to my channel to gain access to my entire library, and hit that bell icon for notifications as to when another video drops. Now, how does Xehanort know about Quadratum?
Tell me how!
Short answer, Xehanort knows about Quadratum because he was sent there himself. How does he get there? That's where it gets complicated. It begins during the climax of Kingdom Hearts Dark Road, when Xehanort and Ericus are about to confront Baldur for striking down classmates under the influence of a true darkness. Other classmates followed Xehanort's lead, but they all get picked off one by one. When Vor gets struck, that's when Xehanort gets hurt the most. After defeating Baldur, he paid tribute to all of his fallen classmates, including Baldur. Vor was the one where Xehanort closed his eyes to fight back his tears. She was the one he missed the most. A year later, chronologically, we see Xehanort walking in the Realm of Darkness. He says he's doing this out of Master Odin's request to expand his horizons before his Mark of Mastery exam. But judging by what he is doing, he is there for more than just expanding his horizons.
If it was just that, he would have visited any other world.
As we all know since the very first game, if you are struck down by an entity of darkness, whether it be a Heartless or some other dark being, your heart ends up in the realm that darkness came from. The Dark World.
Wait a minute!
That's right. Xehanort went to the Realm of Darkness to recover the hearts of his friends, especially Vor. But during the search, he had difficulties to say the least, and he bit off more than he could chew. But the Master of Masters is there to rescue him, and after a talk in the Badlands, he tells him to be more careful, and gifts him a black coat. It is safe to assume that Xehanort continues his quest for his friends' hearts from here, and even here, his plan ends in failure. For two reasons. He probably learns that time runs differently in the Realm of Darkness, and in the time between Xehanort's first and second visits with the Master of Masters, Xehanort was sent to the future as part of the real Organization 13, as is assumed with his comments on his second visit. Because Xehanort knew the price. In Kingdom Hearts 3, Xehanort warned Sora about using the power of waking improperly, and that there would be a hefty price to pay for such abuse. It's safe to assume that Xehanort learned about the power of waking from Master Odin before meeting the Master of Masters, and he never dared to use it, least of all incorrectly. But my theory is that all changed during Xehanort's second visit with the Master of Masters. The Master tells Xehanort his name, and that he is one of the Lost Masters, and fades away before his very eyes. Before we go any further, let me remind you what the price is for abusing the power of waking, according to Kirithi in Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind. The Keyblade wielder loses their powers, and vanish from the world that they came from, with the world they go to being Quadratum. But after seeing the Master disappear like that, it's my theory that Xehanort thought perhaps there is a way out. And it's in this moment that Xehanort decided to bring his friends back using the power of waking. But he did not do this right away, for fear he may be wrong. Not to mention, there was one person who will suffer the most if Xehanort disappears forever. That person being Ericus. Even though they differed in philosophy, Xehanort still considered Ericus his friend. It took 3 years after Xehanort's second encounter with the Master that he finally decided to pull the trigger. After he pays tribute to the Fallen again, he elects to leave Scala at Kylum to see what's out there, or so he thought, and Ericus catches him before he goes. Ericus asks Xehanort what he wants to find, and all Xehanort gives is silence. This gave us the original assumption that he is seeking darkness when it's only a partial truth. After all that has happened, I have reason to believe that the true reason why he left was because he did not know when he'll be back, as he's going to use the power of waking to rescue Vor and possibly others, and take the punishment that will send him to Quadratum.
Hold it!
It's likely to throw off Ericus, make him believe that Xehanort brought them back without the power of waking. If Ericus ever found out what really happened, he would never forgive Xehanort. At least that's what I think the latter thinks. Furthermore, there is the possibility that some classmates elect not to return, and the flowers are on their gravestones just in case.
Good questions.
Considering the circumstances, it's a little bit different than when Sora used the power of waking to bring back Kairi. In Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, Sora went back in time to find Kairi's heart. Once he found out that it was in pieces, he had to put them back together, and then unlock a doorway to Kairi. But Xehanort's classmates fell in a different way from Kairi, so if Xehanort wanted to bring his classmates back, he had to find their hearts his own way. And to try to find their hearts again in the realm of darkness, as he probably already tried, would be a fool's errand. But there is one person who can do the job for him in almost no time at all, and he did it before with some classmates.
My favorite part of the game.
That's right, Hades. Of course, though, he won't help Xehanort unless he sends him to the underworld. So to make sure that doesn't happen, Xehanort needs to fight dark power with dark power. And that means getting the same power that Baldur got, a true darkness within him. After all, the Master of Masters also has a true darkness within himself, as likely instructed from Master Odin, and may very well be the key to getting him back. And lucky enough for Xehanort, he already knew where to find one. Or at least that's what he thought initially. That place, of course, being Wonderland, specifically behind the Queen of Hearts. So he allows himself to be captured by the Card Guard and confront the Queen to encounter this true darkness. After seeing it, he would need to take control of it. How he gets it is of no consequence, as he will be out of Wonderland once he's got it. After this, Xehanort will need to return to the Olympus underworld and communicate with Hades again, with the pretense of speaking to Vor one more time. Hades will agree on the condition that he must stay, which Xehanort acknowledges. Once Xehanort finds Vor's heart, he uses the power of waking to restore her, knowing full well of the consequences. He may or may not have restored other classmates like Hermod and Erd, but it was Xehanort's top priority that he restores Vor.
Ask me why.
Okay. Why?
Xehanort loves Vor. I'll say that one more time. Xehanort loves Vor, much like how Sora loves Kairi.
Vor and Xehanort sitting in a tree, Kissing.
Unfortunately, a relationship isn't to be, because of Xehanort's upcoming predicament, and Xehanort also aware that Ericus had a thing for Vor as well, and believed she is better off with him. So after possibly fighting Cerberus and escaping Hades' wrath, Xehanort takes Vor to the pier of Scala at Kylum and leaves her there to find Ericus before vanishing to Quadratum. More likely than not, Vor probably made Xehanort pinky promise to find a way back home, if she ever found out how she came back. How long does Xehanort stay in Quadratum? I'll leave that to your imagination. All we know is that he found himself in his home reality several years later, and Xehanort took several notes on Quadratum, likely during his stay. He probably took notes on the inhabitants, how light and darkness, or lack thereof, work there, the machinations, i.e. gigases, that are used in battle, and to his surprise, Quadratum's version of Kingdom Hearts. It's Moon. As for who teaches Xehanort how to get back home, what if I were to tell you that it's not any of the foretellers, nor the Master of Masters?
Who was it then?
What if I were to tell you it's Sigurd? There is a clue in the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer. Judging by the voices, his lines are, translated in English, "If this isn't the ending you desire, if it brings you despair, then leave this world for another. Your options are endless. However, if you do leave this world behind, don't expect to return to the one from which you came." End quote. With this, and how his voice hasn't changed that much between this trailer and the Missing Link trailers, I have reason to believe that his message wasn't directed towards Sora, but Xehanort, when he was in Quadratum. This also makes me believe that it took several tries for Xehanort to get home. It will probably also be the case for Sora in Kingdom Hearts 4, but I digress. This is how Xehanort knows about Quadratum. He was sent there himself, because he restored a friend out of love in his heart, well after his visit to the future. So what do you think? How else do you explain Xehanort knowing about Quadratum? Be sure to watch other videos in my library that is a Kingdom Hearts theory. If you want to talk to me on other topics, follow me on X at BlackSunday150.
My friends with great care.
If you like my videos, please hit the subscribe button and give them a thumbs up. Also leave out comments, as I certainly love debates. Thank you for watching, and remember, you will receive the information you seek, or my name isn't
Black Sunday.
May your heart be your guiding key.
See ya!